everyone, I am here today with this week's slightly belated reading wrap up. I've been feeling a bit rough this week, a bit tired. It's been a really busy week, so I'm a day late and I've only read one book this week, so this will be a very short wrap up. The one book that I finished was a book that I received from the publisher via NetGalley, and that was Fierce Kingdom by Gin Phillips. And I will have a separate full spoiler-free review coming for this book soon, so I won't be mentioning an awful lot about it in this, but basically it is a thriller about a woman who takes her son to the zoo, and as they are leaving they discover that a shooter is at the entrance, sort of shooting people down left, right and centre, so she quickly runs back into the zoo with her 4-year-old son and hides. That's really where the story sort of just starts picking up, and it was such a gripping read. I gave it 4 stars. I found this book genuinely terrifying, and that was a really good thing for me. I've been on the hunt so long for a book that would actually terrify me. I was reading it in bed, in the dark, and that was just, it was really scary. I almost felt like I was hiding too. And when my partner, who was in bed next to me, he made some sort of noise and I honestly jumped out of my skin. I was so freaked out. I found myself sort of panting and struggling for breath during this book, and yeah, it was just such a gripping read. And I will say that obviously there must have been something wrong if I gave it 4 stars, and there was. I didn't enjoy the beginning. I felt the beginning was really slow, really unnecessary, really dull. Can't really think of any other way to sort of describe the beginning. It was just stuff I didn't want to know. I didn't care. I just wanted to get to the thrilling stuff. I understand you have to set the story up, but the beginning was a little bit slow for me. If you're worried that this book might be a bit gruesome, I wouldn't say it's too bad considering the subject matter. It's more just the mental side of things of, I don't know how you would get on reading this if you're a parent, for example, because it's probably every parent's worst nightmare to find yourself in this sort of situation, and I'm lucky that I'm not a parent because I think that I might have struggled to read this book if I was. So yeah, that is the only book I finished this week. Oops. On the plus side, I did really enjoy it, as I said. So as for my current reads, this week's TBR, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to hold this up and look at you and think I need to get on with this. I'm also currently reading last week's TBR bucket pick, A Pocket Full of Shells by Jean Reinhardt. And this one, I wasn't sure what it was when I pulled it out last week, but this is actually a historical fiction set in Ireland during the potato famine. And yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm not sure that it's necessarily so far capturing me as much as I was hoping to, but I'm not hating it, so it's at the very least going to be an average read, which isn't too bad for a 99p book. I have since discovered that it's a series, so if I do end up enjoying it a little bit, I'll be keeping my eye out for the rest of the series too. And I'm still listening to Dearly Devoted Dexter by Jeff Lindsay, and also narrated by Jeff Lindsay, which is the second book in the Dexter series. So yeah, I've got some good books on the go. Hopefully I can get some more reading done this week. I was just feeling so unwell last week and I was so busy and there was just so much going on and I just slept a lot of the time. But yeah, time for another TBR bucket pick. Another one that I can't remember buying, even though I bought this one according to my description this year, and that is The Graduate by Charles Webb. So I'm just going to look this one up. I honestly don't know where I'd have necessarily heard about this one. I don't seem to have many people in common that have actually read it, although it seems quite average on the ratings. But it says, when Benjamin Braddock graduates from a small eastern college and moves home to his parents' house, everyone wants to know what he's going to do with his life. Embittered by the emptiness of his college education and indifferent to his grim prospects, grad school, a career in plastics, Benjamin falls haplessly into an affair with Mrs. Robinson, the relentlessly seductive wife of his father's business partner. It's only when beautiful co-ed Elaine Robinson comes home to visit her parents that Benjamin, now smitten, thinks he might have found some kind of direction in his life. Unfortunately for Benjamin, Mrs. Robinson plays the role of protective mother as well as she does the one of mistress. A wondrously fierce and absurd battle of wills ensues, with love and idealism trumping over the forces of corruption and conformity. Even more now, I'm wondering how on earth I ended up with this book. It doesn't sound like something I would typically pick up, but I honestly don't understand how I have this, but we'll give it a go. It doesn't look an overly long read, so maybe I'll end up picking it up sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's up there on my Kindle and one of the books that I can pick from after my current read. So that's all that is currently going on with my reading and what will be happening with this week's reading. What have you read recently? Anything good? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've read any of these books or you're planning to read any of these books, feel free to discuss those with me in the comments down below too. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me to say if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye bye!